one thing I would want them to know is that like I write everything from the heart.
Absolutely.
Actually, I don't write. I type it in. Yeah, I type it in. I type everything from the heart.
Schneider, how are you?
I'm good.
I said it right? Schneider.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Does it ever get annoying when people don't say it right?
To be honest, I just be like, it really depends on the situation, but majority of the time I just let people say it wrong.
Honestly, I was saying it wrong until I think I saw a TikTok of yours of you saying it correctly. I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna forget this now.
Yeah, like literally, like in school, like a couple of my classes, right? Like my first period especially, my teacher, first I said my name was Schneider, then it changed to like Schneider, and then it changed to Shenador towards like the end of the school year. So I was like, yeah, I guess my name is Shenador.
I was saying Schneider before. Okay, but Schneider.
Yes.
How's your day today? How's LA?
Oh, it was pretty good. Like the weather's actually pretty nice here. Like
Yeah?
back in Florida, it's like 120 degrees.
Really?
So each time like I step outside, I'm like pleasantly surprised. Like each time I step outside.
Is it humid in Florida?
Yeah, really humid, like real bad.
How's the change of pace between going, like, I'm assuming this is not your first time in LA, no?
Mm-mm.
Okay, how's the change of pace of going between like a place like Orlando and LA?
I mean, like Orlando, like, you know, I'm just doing like home stuff majority of the time. I'm going to the studio, I'm going to school, you know, just doing regular stuff. But like in LA, I always like have something to do. Like, yeah, like interview or like going to the studio or like, you know, just always like working on something. It's more like fast paced here.
Speaking of Orlando, how was growing up there?
Fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, cause like, you know, we got alligators, we got Disney.
Yeah, it's fun, right?
Like you'll be, like, cause you know how like people be like, oh my gosh, you see alligators like that often? And I'm like, yeah, I do.
Do you guys actually do?
Yeah, like no joke. Like when I'm like walking from the park, like I remember seeing like probably like a teenage alligator like just sitting there, and I was like, oh guys, look, it's an alligator.
Did y'all just like make peace with alligators? Or?
Yeah, I guess so. Like they don't really care about us like that. like they're not attacking us or anything like that. I mean, not me.
I went to Florida once. I went to Tampa. Is it kind of the same? I don't know if that's blasphemous.
I don't know. Majority of the time when I'm in Florida, I'm in Orlando.
Okay.
Home.
Do you ever see yourself leaving Orlando?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, especially because of the weather. The weather, it's something. I could see myself like probably in New York, like where it's a bit more cooler.
You're in high school now, no?
Mm-hmm.
How's
yeah.
that?
High school is high school. It's I'm now a senior. Yeah, I'm gonna be a senior in August. And that just makes me feel like, wow, I've really been doing this for like 4 years now. Like it's really, like these 4 years have like gone by fast.
Really?
Yeah, I would say so. Cause I feel like just like last year I was a freshman and now like I'm already technically a senior.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
How does that look like, you know, still being in school and like juggling music, which we'll get into in a bit, because it's like, you know, part of high school is, and when I look back at high school, it's like one of the more important years, because it's honestly going to be like the most like more carefree years that you have, because it's like you don't really have that many responsibilities. You're just, you know, you're figuring out who you are. But like I was just curious, like, you know, how does that look like trying to figure out who you are like in high school and just like, you know, be a normal high schooler while also like juggling music?
I mean, I don't know. I just like go with the flow of things. Like when I'm at home, I'm thinking about music, and when I'm at school, I'm thinking about school. Like I try to like separate the two, I would say. You know what I mean?
So it's not like a conscious effort you're making.
Yeah.
It just kind of happens.
Yeah.
If I were to go to Florida, or like let's say you have a friend coming from out of state, they're coming to Florida, first time going to Orlando, or like the 3 spots you're taking them to, your favorite spots.
I'm gonna take them to the fun spot. Why? I'm gonna take them to the fun spot because like the lines
What's
aren't.
that?
Fun spot is like an amusement park in Orlando, and like it's fun there. Like and like the lines aren't too long because everybody's like in Universal or Disney, and like, you know, it's cheap too. Like we can all go. But like,
is it like Six Flags? That's the only thing I know.
Okay. No,
Okay,
not like Six
all?
Flags.
Okay.
Six Flags is scary. Like
Okay, yeah, I'm glad we're on the same page. I can't do roller coasters.
Yeah, like the only reason why I went on like the Six Flags ride like last time was because like I didn't want to be alone in the lines, so I just forced myself to go on there.
Oh, no, I refuse to go on roller coasters. Like,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I refuse. No,
Like even if you're by yourself in the line, you're just like, you know what? I'm just gonna.
no. Like I've gotten put on like the ride, and I looked around. I'm like, yeah, I need to get off now. Like I'm that guy though. Like I'll cause a scene. I don't care. Where else were you gonna take them?
I would take them to Publix because, like, you know, where else are you gonna find Publix at? I mean, I feel like that is a staple, and you should definitely go to Publix.
Is that? I don't know.
Oh, you don't know Publix?
I know Safeway. You guys have Safeway?
What is Safeway?
Okay, exactly.
I don't know what that is.
Okay.
But like Publix is like, it's like a grocery store, but it also has like a bakery. It also has a sub making station, and like it also has like a pharmacy and stuff like that. But most people like go for like to eat sandwiches there, and like it's really good, really good. And yeah, and also I would take people to, I don't know, let's say Gatorland. I don't know, I haven't been there since like I was 5, but like go to Gatorland.
I'm gonna assume are there alligators in Gatorland?
Yeah, there's alligators in the Gatorland.
You know, like we were talking about before, it's very important to like kind of like be present and like still go through your high school. So like I was wondering, like, are there like any extracurriculars you do outside of music? Is it just like walk me through a day of your life?
Okay, let's say like last week, like Monday, right? Wake up at 5 in the morning, take a shower, brush my teeth, do my hair, and then all that takes up until like 6:10 in the morning. Then I walk all the way to my bus stop, which is a good 15-minute walk. So I get there by like a good 6:25.
Okay.
And then my bus comes by 6:28, get on the bus, go to school, and then the bell rings at 7:15. I walk to my first period, you know, do all the learning, education stuff. And then like 2:20, that's when the bell rings. And then I go home, and then around like 3 o'clock, 3:30, I go to pick up my sister from school. And then after that, I just do whatever, like usually like work on music, like open a Google Doc, write some lyrics down.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like listen to stuff to like get inspired. Yeah, like try to find like old groups and stuff like that, or like obscure stuff.
What were you listening to growing up?
Growing up, I was listening to the stuff that like my brother listened to. Like, I don't know, like he would listen to like Eminem, Kanye West, Justin Bieber, like like all these people, like like I don't know. He was like listening to a whole bunch of stuff until like I got into like my own stuff. Like up until like I got like my own like first like online account, like I started listening to like Melanie Martinez, Billie Eilish. Like those were like my 2 mains that I first like discovered when I first discovered like YouTube and stuff like that.
What about their music kind of attracted you?
I think like for Melanie, like one day I was just scrolling on YouTube on my computer, and then I saw like the Dollhouse like thumbnail, and I was like, ooh, this looks cool. And I clicked on it, and then like I don't know, I just really loved like the uniqueness of like, it wasn't anything I've heard like on the radio. So like I just really like fell in love with that, like her uniqueness and like her creativity. And then also with like Billie, I found out about her in like 6th grade, and like this girl, she like kept singing Lovely like every single day in the classroom. And I'm like, oh my gosh, girl, be quiet. Like she would just always keep singing it. And then I thought to myself, you know what, let me look up the song, let me look up the lyrics. And then like I started singing it too. I was like, you know, this song is actually pretty good, let me stand.
One thing I noticed about your music, and I could be wrong, especially the earlier songs, you like to play, like you shift the pitch of your voice a lot.
Yeah.
So like, for instance, like a Bethany, where it's like towards the end it gets slower and your pitch goes down a lot. I was wondering, because that's something like Billie Eilish does a lot. She plays around her voice. Was that like something you got, like you picked up from her, or just like, I was curious when I saw the connection.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, and it was like also like just like fun to play with, like the pitches and stuff like that.
When do you actually start getting into music? Because I know you were in poetry initially, no? Yeah, so when did you start getting into music?
Like I started getting into it like middle school. Like I don't know, I just had the urge to like try to make beats and stuff like that in middle school. And then I shifted more towards like singing. And then like one day, like during COVID, I was like, you know what? Let's try like putting those together. And like, you know, I thought to myself, you know, I don't sound that bad. Why not post it on YouTube and SoundCloud? And then like I posted it on TikTok, and like it didn't go viral or anything like that, but like people were nice. So I decided to keep going. Yeah, people weren't like mean, so I was like, okay, let's keep doing this.
The internet is a weird place. It depends which side you land on. You have to get like the really, really nice people or like the really, really mean people.
Yeah, no, but I feel like if I posted like the videos that I did to like Bethany today, yeah, for sure, people would be like, no, this is hot garbage. Please don't.
No, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say, not at all. I love Bethany, honestly, because you can see the potential from there. You said poetry before, right? How does that look like in terms of trying to like craft, like make poems into lyrics? Because even like a Bethany, you have a line where it's I can write endless melodies about you, Bethany, and I know like the song was about like a girl that wasn't nice to you or something.
Yeah,
your lyrics are really dense, but I was just curious, like, was there like a shift in the way that you while like you're writing more songs, you have to take from, okay, like maybe I can't do poetry, I need to like actually make this like melodic?
I would say not really. Like I just really go with the flow. I don't really like try to think like too hard about like what I'm writing. Like I try to like just write what I'm feeling, really.
You said that you were getting to production as well, right? One thing about, so like some people play video games. Like for me, I like making beats in my free time. And like one thing for me personally, I don't know if you relate, when I was first making beats, it was you're trying to make the beats of like the people that you like, that you love, that you wanted to sound like. So for me, it was like I wanted to make like Jay Dilla and Knowledge beats, and I was trying to like copy their flow. And I'm not necessarily saying that you're copying, but like in terms of production, where was your ear going in terms of like, oh, like I want to make a beat that sounds like that?
Definitely like a Billy sound for sure.
Really?
Yeah. Like I would say for sure, like for Bethany, it was supposed to be like a kind of like a Billy sound, a little bit. And like, yeah, I would say like definitely like Melanie Martinez and like Billy. Yeah, for sure, for like my earlier stuff.
What do you use to produce? Which DAW?
Okay, like I feel like most people haven't heard of this because like anytime I bring it up, everybody's like, what is that? But Soundtrap. It's like an online thing.
Oh, yeah. I actually have.
Oh, you actually have?
I have. I've seen it around. I've never used that.
Yeah. Like, you know, it was free and it was around, so I was like, you know what, let me use this.
Can you like, is it, what I'm thinking of, do you know Koala? It's like, it's on the iPhone. Like, you could still have like your own little drum kits there and everything?
Yeah.
How do you learn producing? YouTube?
I just went with the flow. Like I don't know. I just couldn't see myself like sitting down and actually like watching a tutorial, so I would just like play with it.
Really?
Yeah. And
you
then
didn't go through like Busy Work Beats or none of them?
I just like went through it. I'm like, okay, let's see if this sounds good. Oh, this doesn't. Okay. Okay. Okay, this sounds okay. Oh, okay, this sounds better. And like, I don't know. I just go with what feels right and like ear-wise. I don't try to be too technical with stuff.
That's honestly very impressive. Did you like having music theory education before, or was like literally all ear?
No, all ear.
So you're just meant to do this, basically.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, I just like doing things by ear because I feel like if you get too technical with stuff, like you'll strive for like too much perfection. And I don't know, I just don't think like it will, like perfection will always sound like right all the time.
I don't think it's meant to sound right. I think if it sounds too polished, it's like a little weird.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think like imperfections here and there like kind of makes.
Does that, because you have a producer background, does that like, are you more hands-on with the people that you work with?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I try not to like be too like bossy or anything that. But like usually I'll be like, oh, let's like hold this note, or like, oh, let's, instead of like using this piano sound, let's like use this instead. Like I'm usually hands-on with it.
How does that look like in a room of like people? But like, because we were just saying like it's like happy accidents sometimes that make the best music, to be honest. So like, is it like if you're in a room of people, instead of directing of where you wanted to go, do you kind of just like, okay, like let me just see what happens? Yeah,
usually I'll be like, okay, this is how I would want it to sound, and I think we should use like these types of drums. Like I usually do something like vague a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like I'll see how it goes, and then like I'll add some like commentary towards it.
Walk me through releasing Bethany, because honestly, that's very courageous. Because I feel like a lot of us have had that moment where you're like, you know what? I think I will be a great singer. And for half the people, they record themselves and like, all right, thank God no one heard that. For you, for the first time, honestly, it happened to sound amazing, but you also had like the courage to like put it out for the public.
Yeah.
So I want to know, like, walk me through like that first day you released Bethany.
Well, like I recorded it like a month or two like prior. I was like 13 years old, and I was like, you know what, like it's October, my birthday passed. Let me just release it, okay?
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna like grow to be like super big or anything like that. Like I don't think anybody's gonna figure it out. I just posted it like randomly, SoundCloud, YouTube, and that was it. And I don't know. Like I don't consider like the internet like a real place. So like even if people were like, oh my gosh, this sucks, I would have been like, okay, just delete it. And then like go back to doing what I was doing before. So like, I don't know, I didn't feel too scared to post it because I didn't think like anybody would see it. So nobody from my school knew about it or anybody in my household knew about it. So I was like, it's okay.
What were you using to record it?
I was using like this rinky dink mic from like, I don't know, it was like an EA mic. I don't know. It was. I still have the mic inside my bedroom, but like.
Really? You have to keep that. That's history now. You have to keep that.
Yeah, for sure. I'm keeping it. Yeah. Now that I listen back to it, like I couldn't tell like the mic quality wasn't good because I didn't have anything to compare it to.
Yeah, there's no reference point.
Yeah, but like, yeah, I can't tell you what mic it was, but I know it was like some type of EA small mic that you can like plug into the computer, like straight up, like no, audio interface or anything like that. Just straight up.
Straight to the laptop.
Yeah.
Because one thing that I love about your music, it's very textured. I think the first song that I heard was not Strawberry Perfume. It was My Oh My. My Oh My.
Yeah.
And initially, when I heard it, I thought it was a 60s song. Like I thought it was like, oh, okay, like I want to go sample this. And I was like, oh no, actually this was released like last year. I wanted to ask, like, is texture something like you're very like aware of when you're putting into your music?
I would say no.
Really?
Yeah, because like I said, like before, I honestly didn't understand mixing like that. Like I really didn't. I would be like, okay, is it just as long as like the beat is not too loud over like the vocals, then it's like fine. And then like like I would like fix a couple of things here and there, but like I was no like professional mixer.
Oh no, absolutely. But yeah, I say that to say because it's like, even like let's say using an old mic like that, like even like the crappy equipment, it kind of has like a certain sound to it that sounds like a little like more vintage. I was like, that's why I was like thinking, like, were you aware, like did you hear that from the mic and you're like, oh actually I kind of like how like vintage it sounds, or no? Or probably just throw the mic away. I
couldn't tell, to be honest. But like I did want a vintage sound.
Okay,
but like not like from the mic, but the music itself.
Yeah.
But like honestly, I did not mind it though, because people in the comments were like saying like, oh, this kind of reminds me of like the 60s and that like the quality. I kind of like the crappy quality to me. So I was like, okay, yeah.
Were you listening to any music from like the 50s or 60s?
Oh yeah.
Who?
Yeah. Like the Four Freshmen, like
a lot. Oh wow, okay.
Yeah, like a lot of like cover groups I would listen to, and like Judy sang like Up and Down. I really love that song, and like a lot of cover groups, I would say. Between
Bethany and Fall, which I want to get into, there was a lot of. I noticed that like every song that I liked of yours didn't sound the same.
Yeah.
It was like all in different veins, whether it was like the drums were busier or whether it's just like more stripped back. When you were like first releasing music, was that like intentional where you just kind of wanted to be like, okay, let me try some things and see like, see which direction I wanted to go?
Yeah, I would say like I would try to be different for like each song because I wanted to experiment.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like, I don't know. I just thought to myself, let's be different. Let's not make like everything the same.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why I had that idea in mind, but like I just thought it wouldn't be bad. And like I was getting inspired by like new things like every single day. Like I was learning every single day like new things. So like I wouldn't expect everything to be the same in general, because I was just like learning and learning. Like the jump from like Bethany and Fall is like the development and like music wise.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like the improvement is insane, honestly. So it was something that you were aware of, that you wanted to try new things every single time.
Yeah.
When was like that, I don't know, like when was that big moment for you where you're like, okay, wow, like I guess this is becoming real?
I would say like around fall.
Yeah?
Like I knew it was gonna do well, but I didn't think it was gonna do that well. Like I remember I was like so proud of it, like when I first like recorded it. And then I was like, you know what, I'm gonna post it today. And I was like, you know what, no. I'm gonna wait a little bit. I'm gonna wait the next day to post it on SoundCloud and YouTube. And I did. And like, you know, like a couple of like the people that were like listening to me before, they're like, I don't know, this sounds like a little bit too different. I don't like it. I was like, I like it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I, like a week later, me and my mom, we went to like the laundromat and like I recorded myself and then I posted it on TikTok and then that went like viral.
Was that like a weird moment for you where it's just kind of like, okay, like these were songs I was making like in my bedroom, of course, posting on the internet, but then having like a big moment like that where it's like, oh wow, like there's like all these strangers that are like looking at me right now. Like, oh, now my family probably knows that I'm making music. Was that like a weird transition?
Yeah, that was a weird time, especially like going to school. Like I remember like the first, like when I walked into like my first period class, my friend, she was like, oh, there's this girl on my For You page that looked like you. And then like she showed me the video and I was like, yeah, she does look like me.
That's not me though.
Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I don't know who that is, but that's not me. I don't know who that is. And they're like, but it says your name. I was like, yeah, it does say my name. Huh. I guess it was me, but but yeah. Like a lot of people were coming up to me and be like, Shanada, is that you? And I'm like, yeah.
Everyone's trying to be your friend now.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, because I can't imagine how that would feel, that like you have this big moment and you still kind of like, it's like, okay, don't treat me like special, you know, I'm just like still a normal person. Did you have that feeling?
Yeah, I do, because like majority of the time in class, like I'm quiet, like super duper quiet.
Really?
Like I do not speak to anybody, and like sometimes I might speak to my friends, but like I'm majority of the time quiet. And like I don't know, when people find out like, oh yeah, you do music, now like the teacher calls on me a lot more to answer questions. Yeah, like especially like I remember in 9th grade, like that's what like all like fall and stuff happened. Like to be honest, I never get called on and I'm like, I'm okay with that. And then like after that, she actually made me like popcorn read and all that like more and actually like participate. I was like,
you have to, you like, listen, if you like my music, you have to give me a good grade. You have to, you have to tell all your teachers that. At that point, what was the direction that you wanted to take, that like, okay, now that all these people are looking at me, like what did that change, like the type of music you wanted to make, or like did you just hone more in on your specific sound before?
I honed in on more like of the sound.
Yeah. Like
the 50s and 60s sound for sure. Like I still wanted to experiment, but I was like still like honing in on it and like, you know, trying to like perfect it a little bit more and stuff like that. Like
make it sound a little more polished?
Yeah.
I think I read this somewhere, you mentioned your music is like, would you say is like moody, or how would you describe your music?
Like vintage.
Vintage?
And like, yeah, and like sorrowful a little bit.
I feel like, I don't know why, I have a feeling that you have the craziest mood board. Do you do mood boards?
Oh yeah, I do, like a lot.
What's your mood board?
Like I don't know, it'd be like a whole bunch of stuff from like Pinterest. Like it'll be like blue aesthetic and then like I'll put like blue stuff or like purple stuff. Like, I don't know, it just mostly like deals with like color more than like a specific like inspo, I would say.
Can you hear color? Like when you think of sounds, can you attribute that to like a color?
Yeah, I would say so. Like especially like in the beginning, like I would attribute a lot of stuff to like a color. Like fall, it was definitely like purple, and like small room definitely like an orange.
Yeah.
And then like and then Bethany like a blue.
That's a blue?
Yeah, to me I think it's like a blue to me. And like I would attribute stuff to like colors.
You said you had a lot of blue on your mood board.
Yeah.
Did that have anything to do with Blue Oblivion?
A little bit, yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know, like blue represents like sadness. Like there is like a little bit of like a little bit of sadness in my music. Like even if you think it's like happy, if you're
Yeah.
like really listening, still a tiny bit of sadness in there.
We're all a little sad. It's okay.
Yeah.
How was walk me through the creation of Blue Oblivion? I'm sorry.
Blue Oblivion, I started like creating it like during like, I would say like after fall, like small room. Like it was like during the summer, and I said, you know what, I want to make an EP, and I want to like try to like create like different sounds. Like I want all the songs to be like different but kind of similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I started, I think the first song I made was Save You.
I love that song.
Yeah, that was like the first one I made. And I was like, you know what? Like I started listening to like Queen's music, and I was like, you know what? I want a beat to like be dramatic like that. So then I looked up a type beat on YouTube. I was like, Queen type beat.
You'll be surprised how good those beats are.
No, literally. And then like I searched it up, and I was like, okay. And then I came up with the melody, please don't go, there's danger. And then like I just like went off from there. And like I honestly can't remember like the second song I worked on, but like I know Strawberry Perfume, right? I wanted something like different, dancey a bit,
Yeah.
to like distract from like the depressing stuff.
Yeah.
So I made Strawberry Perfume, and that was like D&B inspired. It was like very soft, very whimsical. And I was like, it's about like obsession.
Yeah.
Obsession with like somebody like unhealthy.
Yeah.
And then like also I made Sea Ghost. Sea Ghost, that was like the first song I ever made in like a studio, professional studio.
Really?
Yeah.
How was that experience like?
That was like nerve-wracking.
I can only imagine.
Like I'm used to like before that I was used to like recording myself like in my room by myself in the dark. So like I wouldn't really have to tell people what to do. I just like do it. So like it was like, I don't know, kind of scary being like, hey, please stop. Or like, oh, I'm about to do a harmony. Can you please like stop it and like do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was a bit weird like going like step by step, but like saying it out loud instead of just doing it to like other people, you know?
So more like it was weird, kind of like directing the room a little more.
Yeah.
When did the was it around that time, Blue Oblivion, when SZA reached like reposting your Tyler commented on it? Or is that, no, that was recently, no?
Yeah, that was recently.
How was that moment like? I can only imagine.
I was excited, man.
Yeah.
I was banging on doors. I was like, oh my God. SZA like my story, y'all. SZA reposted me, y'all. I was going crazy. I was.
Because I can only imagine. It's like, you know, these are people that, you know, sometimes when you create, you kind of create from a place where you're not looking for the attention.
Yeah.
And then someone as big as them pays attention. You're just like, oh my God, like this is the
literally.
craziest moment.
And like, I literally have like a poster of her on my wall. And
Which
like,
one?
Like it's like, I don't know.
Is it the control one or no?
It's like a gray poster, and like she's like outside like a pose like this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like I don't know. I put that a week like before she posted me on her story and
Isn't
stuff
that
like that.
crazy?
So I was like, oh my gosh, maybe I manifested it into the universe. And like I also have like the Beatles and like Tyler the Creator and Erykah Badu on my wall.
Talk to me about your visuals. I really like how like I get a really warm feeling from all your music videos, and I feel like they're very meticulously directed. Do you have like any hand in directing your music videos?
I would say majority of the time I make like a Google Slides of how I would want it to be in general. I'll be like, oh yeah, I would want this hairstyling, this is how I want like the outfits to be, and here are some scene ideas. And like, you know, usually I collaborate with the director, and usually like we collaborate on like how the music video is gonna go.
You have the vintage look on the music videos from like an old VHS camera.
Oh,
And you want to be a YouTuber back then?
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, I did want to become a YouTuber back then. Like, I was like, oh Mom, can you please buy me a camera? And she was like, sure, make sure it's not too expensive. And I was like, okay. And then I bought this like $30 camera, and I thought honestly I was gonna become like the next like, I don't know, Tari Yummy or something like that. Like I genuinely thought I was gonna be like a YouTuber. And then I was like, you know what, this is not working out. Let me just find something else to do.
Do you actually try posting on YouTube and like?
Yeah.
It's not fun.
Yeah, no, it's not. And like, hopefully nobody can find those videos.
Talk to me about the most recent music that you're releasing right now. To me, it sounds really polished. Like I can hear the you and Bethany still in the new music, but just like a lot more. I don't know, like maybe like more put together, more like definitely mixed, more put together. I don't know.
Yeah, I would say like I'm still like the same person from that era, just with better equipment. Like and like definitely like better mixers, like because I'm terrible at it.
Honestly,
so, like,
mixing it's like I still don't understand it.
Yeah. And like, you know, I'm actually like in a studio now instead of like in my room. So like that definitely like amps up the quality a lot more.
Absolutely.
And like, yeah, I still go for like the vintage sound and stuff like that, but just with a more polished, clean finished.
There's a picture of you, Smino, and Mavi in the studio. Walk me through that day.
Okay, so the day before, I posted on my Instagram story, hey guys, I'm gonna be in LA. Who wants to work?
Yeah.
And then like, you know, I had like a couple of people, and then Smino was like, oh, I'm in LA. You wanna come to a session?
And I'm assuming, have you guys met before or no?
No. So I was like, sure, yeah. So I brought my brother and my manager, and I was like, okay, let's go. And then we went, and then I saw Mavi there. I was like, oh, that's Mavi. And then like, I was like, hello. And he was like, okay. And he was like, hello. And yeah, we worked on like a couple songs that he had. And like, you know, we worked up until like a good, like midnight, I think. I had colors, and I was thinking to myself like, oh, I wonder if I like added Mavi to like colors and stuff like that. And then I asked him, and he was like, sure, yeah, why not? And then like, that's how like colors happened. So yeah.
How's it music? If we hear colors, what color do you think of?
Red, blue, or green. Like,
the chorus says it itself, no?
Like I don't know, like a red.
Is there a red?
Yeah.
What does red mean to you, like sonic wise?
Like sonic wise? Like I feel like red could be like a vintage color, like, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you know how like a lot of like vintage like Hollywood actresses would like wear like red lipsticks and stuff like that. And like I don't know, I just see like a very good like dark red to it.
How's making that music video? Because honestly, I love that music video.
It was cold, like really,
Was that
really
in New York,
cold.
no?
Yeah, it was in New York. It was like really cold, especially like towards like the end of it. It was like freezing, and like me and Mavi, like we had like the little smoothie thing that we drink at the end.
Yeah.
And like our fingers were like literally like numb.
It was like during the winter?
Not in the, is April? Like I would say
no.
that's like more
Oh,
spring.
that was like very recent. Oh yeah, I mean, New
Yeah.
York State's cold.
You know, like I'm a Floridian. I'm not really used to that coldness.
70 degrees becomes cold.
Yeah.
So you just performed Teenage Heartbreak.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to bring up is that a shift in sound that I noticed, you're using a lot more like piano ballads now. Like
Yeah.
in like in the music you're releasing recently, was that was that a conscious effort from your end? Like include more instrumentation?
I don't know. I just really got like inspired by like a lot of like ballads and stuff like that from like the 50s, 60s. Like Judy Singh, like Up and Down. Like I was like, you know, I really, really love that song. So like, and I really like the piano from it. So like I would say like that's like some good inspiration right there.
How was writing the song for Teenage Heartbreak?
I was in New York, and it was like school just got off. So I got to like go to New York and work with this producer duo called The Outfit. And
Who are they called?
The Outfit.
The Outfit, okay.
Yeah. And they're like, oh, what do you want to do? And I was like, you know what? Let's try to do like a simple piano ballad, right? And I was like, okay, let's start with like some like 1950s type vibes, right? And then I was like, let's do like staccato like type of pianos, right? Like let's not like make the chords like long or anything like that. And like I wanted it to be like simplistic, like not like too much, like just piano, bass and like violin, and that was like pretty much it. And like I think it went through like many phases. Like I don't know, like I went through like a lot, like throughout like making the beat and stuff like that. I like changed the lyrics like a lot.
Really? When do you ever feel like, because I feel like creating is like always a continuous process, and like I don't think there's ever a point where it's done, but for you, when do you reach that point where like, you know what, I'm satisfied with this version and it's done?
I would say like when I'm like smiling, I'm like, yeah, this is
Yeah,
it.
when he gets
Yeah.
that reaction out of you?
Yeah, like as long as I'm like I'm not questioning like what is like going on there, I'm
Yeah.
like, then it's like finished. If I'm not like questioning like what I just did.
So I'm assuming that you had the 3 singles drop and this one, by the time this interview comes out, I'm assuming is an album or a project coming out?
Yeah, it's an EP.
EP?
Called Maybe in Another Life. Cause like with each song, it's like what I could have done in
Yeah.
like maybe in another life, or like what I could do differently, you know, or what I'm not doing now. Like for each song, it's kind of like that.
What would you do in a different life?
What would I do in a different life? I don't know, like maybe like a lot of things. Like let's what specifically?
I don't know, just like hobbies, whatever. Like
Hobbies?
Like
Oh.
okay, how about this? Let's say career-wise in a different life.
Actress.
Actress?
Yes. Like I wanted to be an actress so bad when I was younger, but then I was like, you know what? Like I honestly didn't know what to do to like how to become an actress. I was like, you know what? Let me move on to singing. I feel like singing is easier to do instead. Like it's I actually like can learn like easier how to like do it instead of like acting.
Yeah, and acting, I don't know, like it's hard to like I did like theater class when I was younger. It's sometimes it's hard to like be natural.
Yeah.
And like not act like you're following a script, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, if I had another life, I'd be a chef.
A chef.
100%.
Oh my gosh, what would you be cooking up?
Okay. In this life, I make a crazy butter chicken.
Okay.
I make crazy butter chicken. So if my fiance's watching that, yeah, you can test to that. I don't know. I'm pizza. I love pizza. I'm a pizza guy. So I would make, you know, have you ever had stuffed crust pizza?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's literally my weakness. I'd be making that all day. Honestly, I'd be a pizza chef.
A pizza chef.
I'd be a pizza chef in like a cabin in like Oregon. Cause like I love forests.
A pizza chef in Oregon?
It's another life, so I can lie.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. I'll be one with nature, just making pizzas.
Okay.
Is there any other music videos coming out for the new EP?
Yeah. For the song Teen Heartbreak that I just performed.
Yeah.
And yeah, I recorded the music video actually like yesterday. Technically not yesterday when this comes out, but
Okay. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, and it was like pretty fun, and I think it's like a different aesthetic than what I usually do.
In what way?
Like hair-wise, dress-wise, like I would say it's definitely like a different like direction.
If there's one thing people need to know about Schneider, and you want them to know about you and your music, what would it be?
One thing I would want them to know is that like I write everything from the heart.
Absolutely.
Actually, I don't write. I type
type?
it in. Yeah, I type it in. I type everything from the heart.
Today's been awesome. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for performing. Thank you for this talk. Where can people find you at?
People can find me on Instagram, Schneiders, and then TikTok, Schneider, and YouTube, Schneider, Chenayder.
And just to watch out for by the time this comes out, probably album and music videos, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.